Hi, my name is Ashley and I'm a mom of 2 little girls. I have a 5-year-old named Kylie and I also have a 3-year-old named Mia. As you can probably hear, I have been sick, not feeling very well, which was why there was no video last week, but I am now feeling better and I am ready to dive into some more awesome Montessori parenting questions. So for this week's video, I'm going to be answering a question that I received from a parent, Arletta, over in Scotland, and here's what her message said. We are having a challenging time with toilet learning. My daughter Maya is 19 months old. We have a 2-month-old baby to which she adjusted fairly well. We have seen signs of potty readiness in Maya while I was pregnant, but didn't want to start anything then as we were near the due date. We have a potty in the bathroom, and she has been learning to sit on it since being 1 year old. We have started to teach her more about how to take trousers on and off, which she is getting better at. She also would be uncomfortable in a wet nappy, and especially in one with poo. She would indicate a sign for nappy when she wanted to be changed and say pee or poo at times, not always correctly. But we felt she started to indicate at the nappy before the pee, since a few times we took her to change the nappy and she either just peed at that time or just before, or not at all. So now we decided to go with the full-on toilet learning. We read the toilet awareness book, watched her videos, and some other books and information about the Montessori approach to potty training. Maya has been in cloth nappies since birth. She can recognize when she's wet. We have set up the environment, have a potty in the bathroom since she was 1. We also got another potty chair for our living space where we spend most of our time. We have a basket with clean underwear, wipes for cleaning messes, books, and some trousers too. We also have a wee container with toilet roll and wet wipes, plus a basket for dirty wipes and clothes. So the challenge we face is we have been doing it now for 5 days. We put her in underwear, we tell her that potty is where poo and pee goes, and if she needs to go, she needs to let us know. We followed the toilet awareness book suggestion, so went with her every 1 hour to the potty, although at some point we figured 45 minutes might be better. We seem to be hitting a wall. She indicates by tapping nappy, and we go to the potty. She sits, nothing happens. We get up, and surely a few minutes later we have a pee or poo. We tried by trying to get her to sit for longer by reading a book to her, but no success either. Still, she often would get up, and a few minutes later we have a pee. It becomes more stressful than we would like at this point, and also less and less child involving, as we have her on occasions throwing a tantrum, not wanting to go, so the option is either lift her and take her or not to go, which doesn't feel right or very Montessori at all. I must say that the timing of starting ended up being quite unfortunate, as the same day she started quite heavily teething, and it's been going on like that for the last 5 days, her in quite a lot of pain growing her first molar. We have also started a day after the clocks changed time, so that had slightly affected her routine, but she seems to be back to normal the second day after. We are unsure if the teething makes it harder. We don't know if we should stop the toilet learning and come back to it later, or if we should keep going. Stopping seems like it may confuse her even more. Also, my husband is home for another week or 2 before going back to work, so it seemed like a good time. Taking account that it seems Maya was ready for it. I know 5 days is not long. Not in all that time we did not manage a pee on the potty even once. And only once she managed the smaller poo on the potty. She also often tries to touch her bum and the poo, so in those moments it becomes a chase to catch her and wipe, and it just doesn't feel like a very collaborative process at the moment. We are not sure what we are doing wrong. It feels more stressful than anything else we did so far. Hope that's not too much information. Love and positive vibes, Arletta. Alright, so from one busy parent to another, today I would really like to just offer this parent and anyone else who's watching some more perspective on the Montessori approach to toilet learning, and hopefully then she will feel a lot less stress going on around this process. Okay, so I'm really excited to dive into this parent's question because I haven't done a video on toilet learning in a couple of years, so it's long overdue. But before we get into it, I just wanted to share a quick word from today's video sponsor, KiwiCo. If you're looking for holiday gift ideas for your kids that they'll actually be excited about, then KiwiCo has got you covered. KiwiCo delivers science, technology, and art projects for children of all ages, from babies and toddlers to teens and even adults. Every box comes with everything you need for each project, including detailed, kid-friendly instructions and an educational magazine filled with additional content. The best part? Their crates are designed by experts, kid-tested and approved, and then delivered right to your door each month. So it's quite literally a gift that keeps on giving, even long after the holidays are over. As a former classroom science teacher, I love that KiwiCo exposes kids to concepts in STEAM, that's science, technology, engineering, art, and math, And as a Montessori parent, I love that my children are actively using their hands and minds to explore a fun, engaging, and age-appropriate new theme each month. In our home, we've explored both the koala crate for ages 2 to 4 and, more recently, the kiwi crate for ages 5 to 8. And anytime a crate shows up on our doorstep, I know that we're in for an afternoon filled with excitement, discovery, and quality time spent together. To celebrate the holiday season, KiwiCo also offers a variety of fun holiday-themed projects that can be purchased individually from the KiwiCo store, like the Santa Wobbler, Christmas Candle Carousel, and Light Up Menorah, among many others. If you're ready to give awesome this holiday season with KiwiCo, then be sure to click the link in the description box down below and use code AWESOME to get your first month for just $4.95, or save 20% and get free shipping at the KiwiCo store. Okay, so first I want to start off with some of the big picture details that I think are actually playing quite a big role in what this parent is seeing going on at home. So what I'm hearing is that we have a 19-month-old child who has a brand new baby sibling, just 2 months old, at home, and she is also currently teething some of her molars, which are quite painful in my experience as a parent for many children. This child also has quite a bit of experience already with bodily awareness cues because she's been in cloth diapers since she was an infant, so she understands this sensation of being wet or having a soiled diaper, which is definitely helpful. And this parent has also done a wonderful job of preparing the environment, which is our main role in this process anyway. So she has set it up with all of the things that her child needs to create the opportunities for her to begin this toilet learning process. So that is a fantastic place to be from the get-go. And I really want to emphasize that point to any other parents who are watching this video, because setting up the environment for your child to have success is a major sticking point in whether or not this is going to feel less stressful for you as the parent. Because really, this is not a 3-day quick fix, plan that involves giving your child M&Ms or some kind of rewards to get them to do it over the course of a single weekend. It's a much longer, gradual process. As Montessori parents, I said this in a previous video, we're playing for the long game here. So we're doing what we need to do to give our child those opportunities, and we're inviting them to use those opportunities whenever it seems like a reasonable time to do so. But otherwise, we're really releasing the responsibility, we're releasing the reins to our child and letting them guide us through the process and allowing them to show us when they are ready. And this is why in the Montessori approach, we call it toilet learning as opposed to potty training, because we're not training our child to use the toilet like we might with an animal, Instead, we're looking at it as this very normal thing that all children eventually learn how to do. It's not any different than them learning how to crawl, learning how to walk, learning how to talk. It is entirely dependent on our child's own unique timeline. They are truly the ones in control over this. Bottom line being, we can't rush the process. All we can really do is prepare the child's environment, offer them opportunities, and to support them along the way, knowing full well that it is a gradual process. So for some children, they may catch on very quickly and it might only take a couple of days or a week or two. Other children, it might take several weeks or maybe even several months before they really get the hang of it. But in Montessori, we are respecting our child's unique timeline and knowing that eventually they will get there and having that confidence in them. So in light of that, with respect to this parent's question, this child is 19 months old. Typically, we say that the window of opportunity, the sensitive period for children to really begin to start this toilet learning process, is somewhere between 12 and 18 months. So she's really just on the upper edge of that kind of introductory phase where they're showing interest and they're having some of the physical capability to potentially hold their pee in their bladder without having an accident, or learning how to put those pants on and off by themselves. They're starting to have some of these abilities to more fully participate in the process at this age, but it doesn't necessarily mean that just because she has reached that age that she's 100% ready. She might need a little bit more scaffolding and support along the way. Now, added into this equation is the fact that this parent also mentions that she is teething right now. And so we know as parents that our children typically aren't at 100% when they're teething. They're often in a lot of pain, which it sounds like this child is based on what the parent has described. And so that absolutely could be playing a role in what she's seeing happening. It could have really thrown off this child's motivation to really want to learn and tackle something as big as learning how to use the toilet, because that is a really big life-changing routine for a young child. And so that could be playing a role here too. And then finally, one other really big thing that is going on for this child right now is that she has a brand new baby sibling at home, which is huge for young children, especially toddlers. It rocks their world. And so even though this parent mentions that she seems to have adjusted fairly well, and I think that's great, that doesn't mean that there isn't still something going on underneath. It is very normal for young children, toddlers, to have these kind of unsettled feelings about what they see happening in their home. You know, they're no longer the center of their parents' universe. They have to share their attention with this tiny, cute, adorable little baby. They're not always getting their needs met immediately when they need them met like they were before. And so it's a lot of change for them to process. And even if they are adjusting well on the outside, they're very loving with their sibling, you're not seeing any kind of outward aggression or anything like that, that doesn't mean that she's not still experiencing some feelings on the inside that may be playing out in her responses to this toilet learning process, because this is an area of her life that she does have control over. She doesn't have control over much else, and she's completely lost control of her feeling like everything is stable because now there's this new baby around. But she does have control over whether or not she uses the toilet. And so she might be exercising a little bit of her power as a means of processing these feelings. And that's why you're seeing some of these tantrums and resistance around using the toilet. Now, with regard to the way that the parent has physically prepared the environment for this child, it sounds like she's doing this part beautifully already. She's got the small potty chairs all set out, one of which is in, like the more communal family space where they spend a lot of time, so that she has easy access and she can get on and off of them independently. She's got a basket with, a couple of books, some extra pants, underwear, wipes, a place to put the soiled clothing and things like that. So it sounds like she has that part of it completely covered, which means that now what we really want to do is focus our attention inward, really taking a good hard look, examining closely what our perspective is as a Montessori parent, and figure out how we can best support our child to meet her where she is right now. And what that looks like is first taking a giant step back and really making an effort to just take all the stress off our child, take the stress off yourself for feeling responsible for making this process happen, and realizing that it's going to happen when our child is ready for it. Again, we're just kind of along for the ride. We're there to make it possible and to otherwise just support them, right? So what we want to do is, instead of saying, okay, I have to take her to the toilet every, hour, every 45 minutes, whatever you've been doing, if that's not something that's been working for you and it's feeling stressful, then don't do it. Instead, shift to maybe just offering the potty when it looks like maybe she's doing a little potty dance. Say, oh, let's go to the toilet, have her sit, see if she does something, and if she doesn't, no big deal. She didn't go that time. And if she has an accident or a miss, as I would encourage you to say, then that's okay too. Oops, you missed. The pee goes in the potty next time. Let's get you cleaned up. And then she is a participant in that process as much as possible, so that she can kind of see what the natural consequence of having a pee in her pants looks like. And she feels, this doesn't feel very good. And so that provides some more intrinsic motivation for her to make it next time. So those misses are actually a learning experience for her. We learn from our mistakes just as much, if not more, than we do from our successes. So she knows what this feels like, and now she's better prepared for next time, if that makes sense. You can also consider taking her to the potty at times that are normal for a person to use the toilet, before and after car trips, before and after nap times or bedtime, before and after meals. Those are all the times that we as adults often use the restroom, and our children are no different. So if we can incorporate it into the routine to take them at those normal times, then we're more likely to have successes. And then something that I would also suggest doing is to offer the potty regularly every time there is a diaper change. So I know she mentioned that she has her child in underwear right now as part of this toilet learning process, but I would say that if she's having this many misses and it's becoming really stressful, it's okay to go back to diapers during the day for a little while and to help, to kind of help contain some of it so it's not so much cleanup, it doesn't feel so stressful, but still offer her the potty at the diaper change time. Make it a part of her normal routine so that she is having those opportunities. And then when you find that she is staying dry for perhaps slightly longer periods, then you can maybe try the switch back to underwear. Or maybe if you have, like a weekend, like you mentioned, your husband is home for the week. If you have an opportunity like that where you know that you're going to have the ability to stay home with her and be more focused on the process, maybe you decide, okay, today we're going to go underwear and we're just going to have the underwear on all day. We're going to deal with the misses as they come and clean them up, and have that as part of the learning experience. But if you're just really so bogged down that you can't be bothered to do it and it's adding some stress, then put the diaper on for the day. Again, our children are very, very resilient. Do I think it's more helpful to the child to have either underwear or a diaper and not kind of switching back and forth between? Yes, I do think it's a little clearer to the child that way. But again, if you're experiencing a ton of stress around this, then it could be that she's just not quite there yet. Maybe she's not ready for full-time underwear yet. And so you can make the switch back for a little while and kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. This parent also mentions that at times her daughter's having tantrums and outright refusing to go use the toilet. And so then she feels like her only option at that point is to pick her up and take her forcibly against her will, or to just not go at all. And I agree with that first part of what she said. It doesn't feel very respectful, does it? To pick up our child and take them kicking and screaming, crying, and force them or try to force them to use the toilet. We have to remember, toileting, eating, and sleeping, those are the three areas that our child has the domain of control. We do not. And we have to respect that, So what we want to do instead is keep it an open invitation. And if she says no, then we respect that. Okay, well, you don't have to use the toilet right now. I know that you'll let me know when you do have to go. And then we just leave it at that. And if she does have a miss, then she has a miss. Again, as we talked about earlier, that's part of the learning process. She will eventually realize over time, as she gets older and as she has more experience with this process, she's going to make those connections. She's going to understand that when she feels that urge and she chooses not to go, a miss happens and she has wet pants or she has soiled pants, and then it doesn't feel very good. And she will eventually find that internal motivation to want to take herself to the bathroom on time. I would also encourage this child to take herself to the potty if she feels that urge. She doesn't have to come get you and let you know. That's like an extra step in the process that might actually invite the miss to happen because it's just that much extra time. And in the beginning, they can really only hold it for so long before it comes. So you might encourage her, if you feel like you have to go, you can get up and use the potty. Just let her know that in very simple language so that she knows that that's an option. She doesn't have to come get you every single time first. Now, during those times when she is sitting on the potty, you don't necessarily need to sit with her and read to her and make it this long, drawn-out process, because for some children, that's the part of it that they understand very quickly, like that's what happens every time I go to the toilet, and they start to resist that. They don't want to sit on the toilet for a really long period of time. And so that's okay. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is invite her, have her sit down, let her sit for what feels like a reasonable amount of time. And then if nothing happens, nothing happens. She gets up, pulls up her pants, and moves on with her day. And again, a miss might happen. Yes, I know that, but that's part of the process. You just have to trust it. Now, something else to consider, and I think this is sometimes overlooked, is that there's also this emotional component of a child who is learning how to use the toilet. They're letting go part of their body into the toilet. They're seeing this thing, the poop, come out, and that can be really scary for some children. It can actually be really fear-inducing and cause some children to have those tantrums and to resist going to the potty because they remember when that happened last time and they're like, what is going on? That's not something that they're used to seeing. It's usually in the diaper and it's already happened, but they're actually witnessing it happen. They're feeling it happen in real time. And yeah, it's a really big change for some children. So if she's expressing refusal to sit on the small potty, something else that you can try is to add a seat reducer, like the little inserts that go inside of the adult-sized toilet seat to help make it a little smaller. Add a seat reducer to your normal sized toilet in one of your restrooms and a little step stool so that she can get up to the toilet height. and have that as an option. You know, give her a choice. It's time to use the potty. Would you like to use your little potty chair, or do you want to use the adult toilet? And allow her to choose which toilet she would like to use. And also, always offering a choice to a toddler is a great way to make them feel empowered and give them some choice and control over a particular situation. So definitely something to consider. And then finally, it sounds like this parent already knows this because she says, I know we've only been at this for 5 days. Yes, this is a very gradual process that can take weeks and sometimes months for some children to really master. And we also have to remember that part of this process is dependent on our child's biological ability to hold their bladder, to hold their bowels after they feel the urge before they actually get to the toilet so that a miss doesn't happen. That takes time. You know, so in the beginning, you have to expect those accidents to happen. There's gonna be a lot of pee. It's gonna get on the floor. There's gonna be a lot of laundry involved in those beginning stages. But as our child gains better control over practicing how to hold their bladder and recognizing, you know, like that time between, ooh, I feel the urge, I have to pee, and then thinking I should probably go to the toilet, or I should go, you know, get mom and have her take me to the toilet, whatever her process is, that time span is going to get shorter and shorter as she gets better at this. Because right now it's like, she has the urge, but she's not making the connection that she needs to go to the toilet fast enough. And that's why the miss is happening. But as her ability to hold her bladder and to hold her bowels becomes, you know, it's a muscle, as it becomes strengthened, then she will be able to hold it for longer periods until she makes that mental connection of what the next step is, and then get herself or get you to take her to the toilet on time. We just have to trust and have confidence that our child is eventually going to get there. At 19 months, she's really just at the very beginning stages, I would say, of this. So we have to remember not to feel like we need to rush the process. We just need to like make peace with the fact that this is going to take a while. There are going to be accidents, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong at all. You know, this is just par for the course in toilet learning. It's a skill that she has to learn over time. And so we just kind of want to be there to support her along the way. And, you know, the day that she actually has a success, yay, you know, that's exciting. But it is a process. Now, one last thing that I want to add, just in case there are other parents out there who are new to the toilet learning process. I think this parent may already know this, but in the Montessori approach, we don't use rewards and punishments. So we're not like cheering and giving our kids M&Ms and little small prizes when they have successes in the toilet. But on the same token, we're also not punishing them and scolding them and making them feel guilty or shameful when they do have a miss. Those elements are completely absent from the Montessori approach to toilet learning. So instead, when they have a success, it's you did it. You made your pee in the potty, or you pooped in the toilet. And then that's it, you're moving on from there. And then if they have a miss, it's just a very neutral, matter-of-fact response, you know? Oh, it looks like your pants are wet. I think you might have had a pee in your pants. Let's go get you cleaned up. Next time, your pee goes in the potty. And just giving them that little reminder, but again, not making them feel ashamed that they've had a miss, you know? We wanna just help them move forward. What do I need to do next time? And then what do we need to do right now to solve the problem, which is to get them changed into dry clothing. Now, for anyone who is just getting started on your toilet learning journey and you're looking for some tips and ideas with regard to things like, you know, underwear and small potties and what to do when you're on the go, things like that, I actually created a video a couple of years ago already that's on my channel. I'll put a link to it down below for you. It's called Montessori at Home Potty Training. I titled it Potty Training because nobody is usually Googling toilet learning. So it was an easy way to get people like you to find the video in the first place. But it is all about this toilet learning process and getting started and very practical step-by-step tips. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like more practical tips and advice for implementing Montessori at home with your children, then you might also consider subscribing to my channel. This way you don't miss a new video. My book, The Montessori Home, Create a Space for Your Child to Thrive, is now available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook on Amazon and in all major book retailers. I also have several e-courses, an online community just for Montessori parents where I do group coaching sessions once a month. And for anyone who is looking for more individualized support, I also offer private coaching sessions. So links to all those resources are in the description box down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.